thought I'd show you guys how quickly you can make your own plugs with just a cheap, and I don't mean cheaply made, although it is cheaper made than a lot of other ones, but a cheaper price range airbrush. This is made by Master. This came in a kit with this brush, which is a 0.02, another brush which was a 0.03 with bigger cup, a siphon type airbrush that siphons out of a canister from the bottom. I've never tried it. I'm not into those type. I don't know. I did try one once, and I won't get into that. But anyway, and then it came with a compressor, which I still use. Not to this today. I have a new one, but I still have it, and it's still usable. And it came with a whole bunch of paint and some cleaning supplies and da-da-da. It was a kit. I got it on Amazon for, I don't know, 180 bucks or something. But this brush you can get individually, I believe, and it's somewhere around $30 or something like that. And it's clunky, don't get me wrong. It's not a high dollar, like an Iwata, but whatever. That's a whole different ball game there when you start getting up in there, and that's entry level also, Iwata. But you can do a lot of work with this, and if you paint lures to fish, and even some of them I paint to sell, but if you're like in a hurry and you want to go fish that somewhere that morning and you don't have that particular lure, and like especially these right here, I lose these a lot, little minnows, because I throw them into places that a lot of people won't. But anyway, so I'm going to whip two of them out right here and just show you how quickly it is to paint I'm not even going to prime it white, because you don't really need to. I mean, you should, don't get me wrong. It's a lot easier to get more vibrant colors if you prime it all white first. But we're just going to do first color, which is mango. Did I get my arm in the way? And then we're going to do spice cake and jet black. Those three colors are going to paint a lure enough where we can go out and go fish. So you can paint it in the morning and be fishing by 10 o'clock and catching them by noon. It's just a matter of getting some color on there that's natural. So we're going to go at it. And look I didn't even thin this paint, by the way. It's just straight out of the bottle, and that's how nice it sprays out of this gun. I realize it's hard to hear me once the compressor kicks on. That's the new compressor. I will say that this one's much quieter than my older one that came with this gun right here, this airbrush. But just go slowly and watch your coverage. If it starts to look like it's too heavy and shiny, close off and just use the air and dry it. And continue on. Now we got the whole bottom of that painted with a little tiny bit of paint. I bet that used 3 maybe of the 5 drops that I put in, and the bottom is done that quickly. So what I'm going to do now, I will go off camera and clean the brush out quick and do all that off camera, just because that will bore the hell out of you. But we'll get the next color and I'll show you how quickly it is to go to the next color. I'll be right back. Okay, now that we got the bottom coat on, I went ahead and cleaned the brush out and loaded it up with a little darker color. And what we're going to do now is shoot at an angle like this. Not really at the side, more at the, if you could call it a shoulder. That's what we're aiming at. Maybe I should show you on this one. But you won't see it right away, because I need to be able to shoot at this angle so I can see it. But I'll show you here in a minute. I'm doing is just blending that down to the color I sprayed on the bottom. I want to keep a little bit of the translucence of it. That's why I was checking my air here. Yeah, it's working great. I want to be able to have it a little bit translucent. I'll do this one and then I'll show you what I mean. It's actually spraying really well and working just the way I want it to. Here, maybe I can do it this way so you can see it. Very light, fine mist is just landing on it. That's all I want. You can probably see it landing on the paper behind it, actually. But make sure you just kind of aim at the top of the shoulder. It was a little tougher for me that time because I was trying to show you how to do it. But so it's enough to see through. Maybe a little bit more on this one. Actually, I'll leave that one alone. And then just flip them and do the same. Sometimes it's hard to tell because you already did the other side and you can't see through it, so you really got to watch your spray now. You go by the shine, how the shine looks. Those two little green balls inside helped. They help being able to see. So if you can wiggle them down toward the middle like I just did like that, it'll help you keep an eye on your shade. So you don't get too much coverage on it. I'm hoping I'm getting this in the camera. I'm trying to. But I wanted it a little bit translucent so the light will actually go through it. This is working great. There you go. A little overspray on the top, but that's okay because that's going to be covered with the next color, which will be black, into the next color. You can still see a little orange down there, but it's not going to matter a whole lot. Okay, that's 10 drops. Now, no thinner. There goes the orange. Here comes the black. Just like that, we're on to the next color. Okay, now for this, you're just going to run right straight up the top and let whatever fades fade. Just come back a little bit. Don't get really close because you don't want a straight line. You want a wide fade. So I have one of these around usually. An old business card. Anything will work. Even put a piece of tape on your finger. Just something where you can get check your air, check your flow, get it up there, bring it back. Right there is what I'm looking for. And bring that up and let it fade over the back. That's how wide I'm spraying, right like that. Bring it up, right over the back. Usually 2, 3, 4 times is all you need. And then just look at it on both sides. I'm leaning my head. I can see where I'm a little heavy on this side because I'm trying to show the camera and I'm not paying attention. But that's why it's handy to have a card, because you can get your line and go right up that side only. So now it's even. Even Steven. Do the same over here. Get your spray. See what happened right there? That's why you always want to spray off your project, because that'll spit and make a mess on you. Get your spray, come back, get your fan, and run it up. It's just that easy. What you're doing is you're creating a fade from the black to the orange. There you go. That's simple. You just painted a lure that you can you can fish with. Throw some eyes on it, throw it in clear coat, and you're done. Just like that. Simple, simple. And if you really want it, since you have the black out, if you really want it to be cool, let's do it on this one. Let's set up for it. Let's try not to hold it. We have the tools to do it right. There we go. You could shadow your eye if you really want to be cool. See, always start off your project. Just shadowing that eye. Flip it over. We'll do the other side. So when you put your eye in, it looks really cool. It almost looks a little devious. Looks like I got a little run on that side. I don't know how that happened. Might have happened on the orange. There you go. Shadowing that eyeball. Hell, we might as well do this one too, right? We're here. See, all you need is one of these little tiny cheap $30 airbrushes, and you can do everything that the pros do. You just keep practicing. I didn't mix the paint at all. I just squirted 10 drops in the thing and turned my air pressure up a little bit more than I normally would probably for a bigger brush. I don't know, maybe you can see my finger. I'm barely pulling the trigger back and I'm getting paint. I mean, if I open it up, I'm going to get paint. So you just barely open it up. With that much air pressure, it's not going to take a lot to get that fan right there. And that fan is all you need to just do that little bit of eye socket work. You can do it. I mean, once you know your air, like you'll see me go down here just to get my spray, and then I'll bring it up. That's all I'm doing. I'm just making sure I know what my spray is doing. You'll get used to it. There you go. 2 cool ass lures ready to go. Alright guys, we're not done yet. Here, while I'm checking my paint here, because I just now put it in my thing, go ahead and zoom in on that. That came with the airbrush kit. Oops. Maybe you can't. Okay, now zoom in on it. I want to make sure it sprays good. That's all. Right now what I'm going to do is put some white pearl over the bottoms of these. I need this card because I need a dark background to see where my spray is. And I happen to thought, well, maybe you'd be interested in how to airbrush guide and all that. So there you go. But anyway, we're not done yet. We're going to put some of this white pearl right down the bottom of this. Just to give it a little bit of something else in the water. Looked like it was working pretty well, so let's go ahead and go right over to this one. is working really well. I'm actually going to slow it down and go back and do the other one. And I'm not even going to use that card anymore. Let's see how much more glistening it is. That's what we're looking for. So I was going to put some kind of stencil, but I want to keep this as simple as possible, so it's more of a beginner type of video. So this is a $30 airbrush with a very affordable paint. Yep, cheap plug. Okay, I didn't know how long we were going to get out of that, because this brush does not like to spray anything metallic or pearl, because the needle's just that much smaller, so it's hard to spray. So give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I just added a drop of water and back flushed it back a little bit, just to get so it would flow a little bit better. So we're just going to go at it now. It'll flow like crazy, so I really got to be careful now. So I'm just basically just giving it a wash of white pearl from the bottom all the way up the sides. I think we're gonna have it plug again, but actually it might not. Yep. We're gonna stop right there and call that good, and let it dry for a minute and put some eyes on it. And if you didn't hear all that, oh, I was empty, that's why, which was good, perfect timing. Now we'll let this dry, and you can see the glistening. It's way better, and it just worked its way up the sides a little bit, give it that minnow effect. But anyway, we're going to let these dry, then we're going to stick some eyes in and run them through clear coat, and I'll show you guys how to put the eyes in, so you know every step on how to do a basic minnow that you could fish with the same day. Be right back. Alright, and here we go. All dry, looking like killer minnows. It's really handy to have these to do the eyes, although you don't need to. I mean, you just got to be careful how you handle what you got. If you handle it by the tongue, it's just easier to have something else hold them for you right in the perfect levelness, because what you're going to have to do, I always make sure that my eyes are broke free from the paper, because the least amount of time you spend fumbling around when it comes time to put the eyes in. See what I mean? See how it just kind of went on a mind of its own. I want to get them right over here, right where I want them. And because once you put that drop of glue in, you just want to get right to it and get them on there. Now, one tip that I learned the hard way, it happened to me the other day again. Don't tip your bottle and then bring it over to your bait. It'll drip on you and land on your bait somewhere. I've had it happen twice on me. I'll bring it over to and then tip it over at the eye, because yeah, you don't want it to glue and drip on your lure. I mean, it's not that big a deal. Just let it harden, and then you clear. When you clear over it, you might not notice it, but the worst thing to do is to try to clean it. Now, I like to get this right That's why I like to have it level. It's a lot easier to fumble around with. Did I get the right size eye? Yeah, I did. Okay. And then just get your fingers, like I got my pinky on here and my thumb here, or my other finger here, and I'm bringing it in slowly so I don't make a total mess with the glue. Get it in the area, put this finger over it as soon as you find it, and then pull it out, and then slowly let go. Then look at it. You got some time if you use the right glue, but there it goes. It just popped right into place, perfect. That's exactly where it's supposed to be, right there. Now, I have Q-tips around just for the hold down time. Now you want to make sure that you got your hands underneath so you can secure it a little bit. Don't just, because it'll bend down on your clamps or something. So I grab the tongue and I just lightly set the Q-tip on it, because you don't want it to squirm around either. And then just gently put pressure on it so that the glue spreads out along the whole bottom of the eye. And that one's done. Voila. Now, these eyes you can get on Amazon. Type, search minnow making eyes or something. I'm not sure what I used on the search to get it, but I like to do the same one. I don't like to screw around and go to the other one, and then, because you forget a lot of times. Maybe not a lot of times, but sometimes. Am I crooked here? No. Let's just get this one right up out of the way. There we go. I'm trying to get it so I can see the level of it. Right there. I want to change that a little. There we go. Turn it down just a tad right there. Let's get this one up out of the way, because I'm going to have to come in from this way. Put our drop of glue. Now remember, don't just whip your glue over there, because you don't want it to land anywhere but on that eye pocket. Boom, one little drop. These are adhesive, and I used to trust it before dipping it into the clear coat. Until one day, one fell off, and I watched it go whoop, 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 whoop. I'm like, oh man! So I had to wait for the clear coat to totally dry, and then get out another one and replace the one that went floating away. Whoop. So you don't want to mess around too much with the glue, because this ain't clear coated. We just painted that pearl white, so that's still fresh. It has no clear coat on it. So you just hold your tongue, or the lip of the bait, so you got something firm, and just push down on it so the glue smears around. This is actual super glue, the brand name super glue, but you can use any fast adhesive. The faster you do it, the better. Then you can get it into clear coat. If you're impatient like I am, anyway, I like to get it done and get them on the clear coat, and get them in the clear coat and get them on the carousel right away. Just do it. There we go. Clear coated. Eyes are in, clear coated, white pearl over top of, I can't remember the colors. You have to go back to the beginning of the video to see it. But sprayed, translucent, so you can still get light through them. Hopefully you can see that through into the camera. But the light actually shines right through those very easily. I don't know, Hopefully you can see it in the camera. So we nailed that. And with that white pearl drawing the light and reflecting the light and the light going through it, yeah, these are really cool minnows. I'm going to play around with the zoom here so you guys can really, probably should have done that with the light, but there you go. They come out really nice. And that is with a $30 air gun, beginner's air gun, or beginner kit air gun, I should say. I consider myself still a beginner, but I've been airbrushing for, I don't know, 5-6 years. No, I'm not saying it takes that long to get good enough to do this, because you can do this in a day. All it takes is practice. These are, I'm not even kidding, these are really simple to do. You saw me do it. Just follow the steps that, you know, treat me like a Bob Ross and follow along. It's that simple. You can do that same technique with any of the lures that you want to paint. You can find an old lure somewhere that's all faded and no good no more, and you can just change to go out and buy a bunch of colors and get yourself an airbrush kit. I looked it up on Amazon while I was doing editing and stuff. That's why I threw that in there. They were $149 now, and the compressors are cool. They're kind of upgraded them a little bit. I read through them. So right now, if you wanted to get involved in doing this kind of stuff, or any kind of airbrushing for that matter, I'm trying to hold these still so I don't get them out of the camera focus, but still move them around so you can see them. But yeah, $150, man. That's pretty decent. The other two airbrushes that come with it, one, like I said, is a siphon type. It comes with a bottle that you screw in the bottom of it, instead of having a cup like this one here. Here, let me open this back up again a minute. Instead of having a cup on top like this one that has a siphon hose that comes out the jar that you screw in, and a hose that sucks it up and pulls it that way. A lot of t-shirt artists use those. You see them with two hands. I tried using one once and I couldn't get it, so I never got it. That has a bigger needle. That has a .05 needle, which makes a really, it's almost like spraying out of a spray can. But yeah, and then the other one's a .03 needle that basically like this one, but with a bigger cup on top. Looks similar to this. And that comes in the kit. Those 3 airbrushes come in the kit. The air compressor, a bunch of cleaning tools, I don't know, a dozen or so jugs of paint, you know, everything to get you started. All you need to do is order things. I would recommend practicing on things, you know, even just paper, just to practice learning how to control the air and the flow of the paint. Here, we'll really zoom in on them. There we go. Yeah, I did.